And welcome to the first episode of the Couch Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. We're so happy to have you with us. My name is Theo Miller. We have.
My name is Sherlin Cadet.
Glenn Sherman.
And we just are here to bring you some fantasy football news. It is our goal to educate you on the ins and the outs of fantasy football life. We are your number one source for fantasy football news, tips, and entertainment. Our goal is to help you all grow your fantasy IQ. We want to help you destroy the competition. Yes.
Win. I mean, people say sometimes winning is not important, but it's important for me.
Hey, listen, if you ain't winning, then why
you
ain't
trying to win? What's the purpose?
Exactly. Exactly. You got to win. So the three of us are from the Bahamas. So if you notice a little accent, just the 242, that's the area code. If you notice an accent, just go with it. We're going to try. We're going to try our best. We're going to try our to make sure that you guys understand what we're saying.
No, I'm not going to try.
But we are Bahamian, and so, we're going to get that Bahamian flavor. But, our goal is to just make sure that everyone understands fantasy football and has the most fun doing it. And we just want to get right into it right now. The biggest thing, what's going on right now, everyone is talking about
free agency.
Free agency frenzy.
And it is a frenzy in the recent years. I think this has been one of the most active and I guess one of the most strategic free agencies I've witnessed.
It's crazy.
Plenty out there doing it big.
Real talk. And plenty other free agencies I used to look forward to, and I used to be very disappointed. But I can't say I'm disappointed. That's when people are making moves.
Yeah, it started off slow.
Yeah.
It opened up, I think, Monday, right? And I think we all, we were kind of expecting, okay, moves. But it was a trickle.
Lots of
moves. Then they literally just allowed the floodgates to open up.
Yeah.
So it's just...
and on that note, I guess I can get it started.
Go right ahead.
My biggest takeaway is that the salary cap doesn't exist. Because, basically, it does exist. You do have a set limit. But, there are obviously hundreds of ways to get around it because the big names are still getting signed. People are still spending money like whatever. As you see with Taysom Hill, he has 4 voidable years. I wouldn't sign a contract for voidable years.
I don't know if he had an option, to be honest.
Right? But my biggest takeaway is that, teams are going to do whatever they need to make sure that they get their people, whether it's delaying that money to future years, quote unquote, or, it's all sort of acrobatics. And so what I used to do is look to see which teams are close to the cap, which teams have the money, but it really doesn't matter. Teams pretty much can do whatever they need to make sure that they're good.
Yeah, you got to remember too, the cap is even less this year.
And it's less.
The cap is cut this there. So the moves that these people are making are so much more strategic. If you watch what teams like the Saints are doing right now, and the way they are managing, that's one of the reasons why I think they're saying some of the bigger names are taking a little bit longer to move, because everyone's waiting for the first one to set the tone, set the market. Yeah. But because the cap is so much lower now, these bigger guys that demand higher salaries are taking a little bit longer to finally go off to the next team. And if you look, a lot of these the deals that have been happening have been 1 year.
1 year deals, because they know the cap is going to reset next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my biggest takeaway. I honestly expected Golladay and Juju to be signed by now, but they still floating around out there.
Yeah, because they're the big boys. Of the free agents, those are the biggest names, and so they have to be very careful about how they position themselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. My biggest takeaway has just been what I say. The older players are that the times are changing. It's basically my biggest takeaway, in that so much of the older players that we know and love are have faded to the background and are becoming those, those veterans that are
Name a few, Theo.
assistant pieces to their team.
It seems as though you have a few heartbreak names.
Man.
Name a few.
I mean, I could go on, I mean, guys like AJ Green.
Yeah.
R.I.P. AJ Green.
There's another name I thought you would have said first.
No, I mean, listen, Kenyon Drake, I mean, this is we have some history there, but Kenyon Drake, R.I.P. Kenyon Drake.
Even another name, Theo, I think you have a fantasy graveyard of names. It's one name. What about
who are you talking about?
Well, ex-Rams.
Oh man. See, Gurley, he isn't even. I'm not. I RIP'd him last season, honestly, because Gurley, his time is done. His time is done. I mean, he also had the degenerative knee issue, and so that kind of excelled that excelled his timeline. It's so sad because we got 2 years of dominance from him. I think
maybe three.
But it's really sad to see what happened. I mean, and that goes to show you, like, running backs, fantasy football running backs, you make use of them when they are in rotation, because it's not gonna last.
And that's another thing that's pretty much that's a tip we can lead off on. In case you didn't know, guys, we play in multiple fantasy leagues. We're in maybe 1 or 2 leagues together, and one of them is a dynasty league. And in terms of strategy, like, you have to think about now and you have to think about the future.
Yep.
So your Derrick Henry, who had 2 dominant leagues, you have to be now planning, hey, what am I going to do in case
think about it,
in case Father Time catches up with the old beast.
This may be the time to cash in on him.
You see what I'm saying?
That's the type
I hear
of decisions.
I hear you, Glenn.
as the Derrick Henry owner, Sherlin is the Derrick Henry owner in our I guess we could call our league of record.
Right.
So
I don't need any more running backs. I got 3. I got to think about if I can move off or not.
That's true. And you have one. And you have a trade request that you've ignored, but I'll leave that one alone.
Oh,
you sent me a trade request?
Ooh.
Yeah, I cancel it and all. I don't like to be out in the I don't like to be out in the shade.
I see that.
That's fine.
Shade.
But
yeah,
that is a big takeaway, Theo.
No, I mean, listen, don't let there's another podcast that we all watch for the ballers say, don't let your sons grow up to be running backs.
Really, really.
It's
really,
a tough game.
If 2 to maybe 3 years, and that's pretty much it.
If you look at it and look at like the trend of dominant running backs, how many of them have like great seasons, and the following season is like, where did they go? Like the LaShawn McCoys, the McFadden. Remember the
McFadden?
McFadden had, and then
very few of them. There's some of there's if you go all the way back to the LTs, and those guys, the ones that are good for multiple years, but that's rare. That's rare. I think McCaffrey is showing that to be too. Except last year he was out, but the 2 years before that he was dominant.
Yeah,
and
but
you can hope that he is dominant coming back, but we don't know.
But look at it. There's rumors in the bushes that his name is on the trading block.
I don't know if I believe that.
I
mean, listen, I know they're trying to get. You mean for Deshaun?
There's truth behind every rumor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe anybody in the NFL can be had for the right price.
Exactly.
That's true.
And so, even outside of fantasy, maybe NFL owners, not even maybe, NFL owners are now looking. You see how hard it is for a running back to get onto their second contract now. You basically, it's almost a requirement for you to hold out to get the money that you want.
Yeah.
Right. And then now you see teams are now resorting to having 2 lead running backs rather than 1. They're not going to depend on you and put the fate of the franchise on your back.
Yeah, because if you look at teams like New England, they win championships, and when's the last time they had like a bell cow running back?
Yeah, the last one I can think of is LeGarrette Blount, if you want to call him a bell cow.
But he wasn't even a bell cow. They would rotate.
They would rotate, right?
Running backs become more important, it seems, in the postseason. Not in the postseason, in the after the regular season.
That's true.
Like
That's
in the
true.
playoffs, in the Super Bowl,
Look at
that's when you see more running because most of these teams have shut down corners when you get to the playoffs.
right,
So wide receivers are getting shut down. The defenses are strong,
right,
and you have to be able to run that ball. You have to be able to move that ball because these guys know how to stop the pass.
right.
So that's when it becomes important. So, but that's what, like you say, Glenn. I don't know if it's ever really important to have that highest paid running back like
It's not.
look at the teams that have all the best running backs.
Yeah.
None of them are really have
I'm
been
struggling with the
viable.
Giants, the Panthers, the
Cowboys.
Cowboys. I mean, only the Saints they have Kamara, but
Jeff Kamara, yeah.
Drew Brees turned into a noodle lately, so they couldn't really do anything.
That's sad. That's sad as well.
Yeah,
But even
these
look at the
the-
free agency market. Pretty much the biggest name so far is what Kenyon Drake, if you want to call it a big name. What's
ain't much running backs been getting signed in free agency.
no.
not much.
No, I mean, and they're not going to. I mean, Aaron Jones was the biggest one that was available.
And that's a surprise.
I would say, and I think it was very surprising to see what happened to him. I think everyone kind of thought that he was gonna end up going somewhere else because Packers are usually very tight.
Yeah.
They're not looking to break the bank, but also he accepted less money because he wanted to stay.
Right.
And
Which
I
probably
think
the
going
best move for
forward,
him.
that's what running backs are gonna have to do, honestly.
Right.
Because most of these running backs, when they have a good year and they move to another team, how'd that turn out for them?
Not well at
They
all.
fade into obscurity.
Yeah.
Right.
That probably was the best move for him to stay in Green Bay.
Yeah. Do you want to win or you want to get paid? I mean, that's what a lot of these guys have to settle with sometimes, especially these top running backs.
Right.
And the thing about it is, if you're smart, winning equals getting paid.
That's true.
To me, it's not. I think a lot of these guys try to put maybe too much on getting that salary. They want to be the highest paid person ever. I'm like, I mean, that's all well and good, but when you leave the game, what are you leaving with it? And those winners, to me, if you are on a winning team, you could find a way to parlay that into something. Like you want a Super Bowl team, make that money after.
Lombardi Lenny.
Win your Super Bowl and then go get your bag.
Yeah, but at the end of these guys have to make decisions based on their lives and also who they could step on the field the first game of the regular season and their career is over. So sometimes you got to take the bag too. So I mean, you can look at it both ways. But let's take let's get into some free agency news and fallout. What would be one of the biggest things that you guys have noticed in terms of free agency signings? Like what is one of the most important ones to you that have happened so far?
One of the most surprising ones is what's his name for the Bears signing with the Bills? Trubisky.
Trubisky.
I don't know. I don't know. I did not see this one coming, but I guess
that move to me seems like he just accepting that he's going to be a career backup.
Yeah, and even from both sides,
because you ain't never get the start over.
Right, because over Josh.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
No,
because I think I said in a group today, taking a bet like that last year when Josh still had to prove himself would have been a good move.
Yeah,
but Josh has more than proved himself. So I don't know.
There's no way you getting that job. I mean,
but I did
aside from injury,
right? I did see the Bears GM. He did say I guess it's a part of reassuring Josh that he's the guy and it won't be a competition. He did say, we're just giving Trubisky an opportunity this year and next year, and hopefully he can find an opportunity on another team next year. So I guess he said that to save face and to let everybody know this is not a competition.
I don't think you have to. I think there's some merit in knowing your role, and those. Listen, Trubisky, you can, if you are real with yourself, Trubisky can look himself in the mirror and say,
"You think
I'm a backup quarterback?
You think
that is what I am?" I think I think that's what would be the smart thing for him to do. I think everyone always says they want these guys to, everyone always wants to come up the competition and want to be the one. But I mean,
You gotta be honest.
There's value. I think there's value in knowing that you are too.
He had like
You can be successful. Go ahead, then.
He had like 3-4 years to prove himself, and he hasn't really. I think his role
look at
solid backup because he can come in and perform for one game. He's proven he can come in and perform well for one game.
Trubisky could do what Nick Foles did. I believe he can do it.
Yeah,
I believe he can do it.
Foles. Look at Ryan Tannehill. He purposefully chose that job because he knew that he could take over from Mariota.
Listen, look at the greatest number 2 of all time, Fitzpatrick.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fitzmagic.
Fitzmagic. Look at him. I mean, this is his career.
Journeyman quarterbacks can make a lot of money.
Yeah, 10 mil a year.
You don't tell me. You tell me that Fitzpatrick didn't at one point look himself in the mirror and say, "I'm a number 2. I'm gonna settle into this role and cake."
I think a long time ago he realized I'm never going to be a franchise quarterback. So let me go from place to place. That's why he's sling it. He don't know long-term career goals.
He's like, hey,
come on, man.
Touchdown, interception. Hey, someone's going to score.
Come on. And that's because he's not trying. He's not even trying to be a starter anymore. I know he said he was hurt, like, when they put Tua in whatever last year, but I think he knew it was coming. He knew it was coming.
He knew he was a placeholder.
Well, let's dwell on the Washington football team. Like, they've been my underdog team for the last maybe 2 years, and I think they're in prime position to do some big things this year.
That defense is real. That defense is real. Once you have a defense that is ferocious like that, you're always in it. They got to the playoffs last year with
nothing.
Well, we have to remember
that one leg.
That division was utter trash.
Yeah, true. But still, they still played good ball.
They did. I like them as a team. I'm not a fan of the Dalton signing.
Oh, you mean you're talking the Redskins? Not the Redskins. Sorry, Washington football team.
Didn't they sign Andy Dalton?
No, they signed Fitzmagic.
They signed the Bears signed Andy Dalton.
Right, the Bears signed Andy Dalton.
Okay,
right.
Kind of like that better for them.
But think about it.
With Fitzpatrick, I think I would say they have a shot. Honestly, if Alex Smith gave them a shot,
Alex Smith.
They prime for a deeper playoff run with.
But look at the moves they made in free agency. They signed Curtis Samuel.
All right, yeah. I think that one went under the radar for a lot of people.
That went under the radar, and I hope it does in our league where I can probably snatch him. But he's a great receiver. He's very versatile. He can play a little bit of running back if he needs. They have They have a young defense. They have somebody who can be across the field from Terry McLaurin, who's a dependable number 1 wide receiver. They have Fitzmagic.
Running back.
They have a great running back who's second year in the league. He went under the radar last year, but now he's on the map. They're putting together a team. And as you said, with a defense like that, you score 7 and you play good defense and you can win, especially in the AFC least.
Oh yeah, they could easily win that division again.
NFC least, sorry.
There's no other team in that division I feel has done enough to compete with them.
What do you think?
Let me see. I wanted to vet.
I mean, Dallas got Dak back, but
I was going to ask about Dak. What do you think? Being the Dak owner, what are you guys' thoughts on if he can come back and at least be 90% of himself?
I personally have always felt like the Cowboys are a bunch of hype.
Agree. Sorry, Cowboys fans. But I like Dak. I like Zeke, but for whatever reason, they can't ever seem to put it together. Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a few teams where they just kind of have been almost on the cusp for a while. And I mean, the Cowboys have definitely been one of those teams. Like, they've had good teams. Think about their teams throughout the years. Good teams.
Great teams.
A lot of talent, but that defense is atrocious.
The defense, and even the year before that, when they had a great defense, they were in these shootouts, and they got to the end, and so much of these games that were close, they couldn't pull out.
Romotized.
They couldn't pull out the win.
Yeah.
So I mean, just looking at the division, Washington definitely has a really good chance of making some noise. I mean, the division is theirs to lose, to be honest.
Agree.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say I can't really see,
Except
you know.
except I've got a little bit of belief in Jalen Hurts.
I
The
need more.
the
Yeah, I need to
analysts
see
I
have
need
more.
to
not,
see more.
for some reason, the analysts have not been very kind to him. But from what I've seen and from what been able to do with limited reps, no off season, COVID environment,
I mean,
um,
he has looked better than Wentz did last year, but I mean, a wet
it's
paper
not
towel could look better than Wentz last
agree.
year.
Yeah, I
It's not hard
mean,
to do.
because he added that running game to his rep to that field, to that offense. It's sometimes when a quarterback has a running game, it can shadow some of the mistakes and some of the issues that they had.
Agree.
I think what a lot of the analysts have done is look at his what he did last year and say, well, while he might have looked really good in a lot of ways, he made some mistakes too, and that you would expect that though. So I mean,
Rookie.
this is his year.
This is his year.
This is his year to step in. I think he has some things he has to prove. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna
So
be
you think
interesting. I don't know if I'm ready to say it's Jalen Hurts time, but
I
you
think
think you
it's I
think
think
you
it's
think the
her
Eagles are
season.
all in on him?
pardon.
You think the
You think
Eagles all in on him?
I don't think so for some reason.
You think they're gonna
They
kind
do
of?
have the number 6 pick. They may decide to
They may make it a
draft a
competition, which
QB.
is a bit
I
scary.
don't
I
think they
think I
should.
I think I
I
think
think
that
they
would
should
be a
give him a
bad move on
chance.
their part. I think they did that to Wentz last year, and I think that was a part of the
That
reason
shook him.
why
Yeah, that shook
Wentz
him.
Wentz couldn't get on the board because
Yeah.
he stepped into last season scared.
Yeah, he couldn't even buy
You
into
put someone
his own
behind him
doubts.
and had him like a wolf waiting for you, and so like
Yeah.
and you have the most paper offensive line in the league, and so it's just like this. I mean, how do you expect this guy not to be scared for his life when you have someone waiting to take his job
Right.
and
Someone that you
you don't
drafted
give
so
him
high.
any protection?
But
So
I'd say the NFC East, it's going to be an exciting division because I mean they all have something to prove, and like pretty much anyone can take it. So I'm really excited to see what's going to come out of there. I think that's one of the most competitive divisions, for lack of better terms, because they suck so
It's
much.
it's sad that they're competitive because they suck.
And they also
yeah,
play each other twice. Like I mean, that's like drama. That's like a soap opera.
But honestly, their
yeah.
division was the most interesting to watch last year because it's like
Because it's like who's gonna get in with the worst record?
who's gonna
Right.
suck the least just enough to get make the playoffs.
Or who's gonna suck the most? Because I mean, every week it was like, well, who's gonna take the worst? Who's gonna get the highest draft pick? Because that was like a competition as well.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, but I one of the things that one of the things that I wanted to talk about is what just happened today. And this I think this is we were talking a little bit about it in our WhatsApp, and I said I wanted to tell you guys about it when we actually started recording, which is the Will Fuller move and
Right.
the compound reactions that I think are happening with that Will Fuller move, because I don't think it's as simple as Will Fuller just going to the Dolphins. I'm less thinking about the effects this has on Will Fuller and more thinking about the effects this has on Deshaun Watson and what
Interesting.
he's going to do. I honestly, I've been kind of watching this whole Deshaun Watson drama, and you guys can give me your take on it too. But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, very early on, watching what some people who are close to him were saying, he's done. He's done there. I mean, he's done there. I mean, I think they had some opportunities to bridge the gap and make it work, but it doesn't seem like he's going to play there. And now they have allowed their number one wide receiver to move on to another team and have
the number one wide receiver left because remember they traded away Hopkins.
They traded away Hopkins. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Fuller was their new number one, who was a number two, and I think possibly is better as a number two, but now his receiving core is Brandon Cooks. They just let go Darren Fells, who was his favorite guy in the red zone last year. Now you got David. You got an old David Johnson.
Yeah.
I think they brought in what's his name? Ingram. They brought in Mark Ingram.
Right.
And I don't even know, like Kiki Kuti, I guess, is still there.
Well, for
And
now,
they got a ragtag group, of the the extraordinary gentleman or whatever you want to call him. Is just like
so
you
what's the
now. This is not enticing your
Him to
franchise
stay.
QB to want to stay and work it out. Like,
so
no, this
what do
team
you
is still
think?
going nowhere. JJ Watt is gone. The defense is going to be trash
I
again.
forgot about that.
Why would I go and wait and risk my career and for you guys
Waste another
to
year.
waste another year?
So what do you
So, do
think?
you agree or disagree what he is doing?
What he's doing or what the Dolphins are doing?
What Deshaun is doing? What do you agree that?
I agree because it seems like he has a very specific reason, and seems like it's tied to ownership.
It seems like it's reasons.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like
and
like
ownership ain't
football-
changing, so they're saying something
Right.
that could be resolved. If he was
I
like
think-
beefing with a player, you could get rid of the player, but
I
he
think
have
it's
issue
on
with-
football team. On the football team, I think it's even the city of Houston. Like it's really getting nasty up there. So, like
Let's not to mention this new stuff
Allegations.
that are
the allegations,
suddenly coming out of the blue of your quarterback that has been
right?
showing that he doesn't want to play, and now all of a sudden these allegations are
Oh.
coming up. I mean, I'm not saying nothing, but it's a little.
It's crazy, and maybe they threatened
Sketchy.
him before. Maybe they threatened him before with things like that. Like
It's
that's
just
a very
it's to me it's just crazy. The timing is a little bit too crazy. I don't put anything past these guys, and I've heard that the Houston front office is nasty.
Yeah.
I've heard that multiple times that they are not the greatest people.
then
So-
that's
crazy.
probably why he
So
wants.
what do you
to
think about your prospects on the Dolphins? And I'm asking for a friend because every year I place a bet against the Dolphins, and I need to know how much I should be wagering.
Well, I mean, I will say one player whose time it is. It's two a time for sure.
Yeah.
We need to. This is it. He has a beautiful position, and they're gonna put. I'm assuming they're only gonna put him in a better position after the draft. They have.
Possibly. They have what did they draft?
They have a
draft-
few
They
first round
trade
picks, I
off third.
believe.
nice. Oh.
Do they? Oh, no, they just have one for. Okay, they just have one first round pick.
How
but-
early is the first?
third.
No, they have two. They have two. They have the 3rd and the 18th.
Oh my gosh.
So
possibly another. No, you think they would draft another wide receiver or
I think they would. I think they would drive another wide receiver or
Pitts.
a-
They may go Pitts.
but you know,
I mean,
they
I
got
mean-
Gesicki, he's young.
I think they might
I
hold
forget
on. I think they
Gesicki.
would hold on to Gesicki. I mean,
Gesicki's-
he's definitely flashed.
You're right. I forget about him. So
Did they bring
my
in a
assumption-
running back in free agency?
No, but the
but they
guy,
ain't drafting a running back that high because ain't no running backs rated that high.
But what's his
But they
name?
could take
Did-
on.
did a
They
good
could
job.
take one at 18.
What's his name? Did a good job last year. What's his name? Almost a free agent, but he pretty much took like 90-something% of the
Oh,
snaps.
Gaskin.
Yeah, Miles Gaskin.
Yeah, he did. Well.
My assumption on what they're gonna do is they're either gonna draft a wide receiver or they're gonna trade back.
You don't think they'll do something on defense?
That defense is pretty solid. The defense is pretty solid right now. They had one of the top rated defenses in the league
They
last year.
did. Yeah, they did.
You could always strengthen, but I think right now what they need to
O-line.
shore up that offense
Yeah,
and possibly
I mean,
that O line.
Because
honestly,
you know,
or any of the defensive players you could get like cornerbacks and stuff, you could trade back with someone at like 9 or 10 and still get that cornerback.
agree.
You don't have to take them
Yeah.
that early.
So
Yeah.
possibly I should not be making my Miami Dolphins bet this year. That's what you guys are
You
saying.
could because
I
honestly,
mean-
I feel like it all depends on Tua.
It depends on Tua. I
He
agree.
didn't look too hot last year.
I was going to say, he definitely improved the team, but it seems as though the team
does.
is
I mean,
not,
they
is
were
not,
yeah.
is not as impressed as I thought they should be.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think a lot of things factors were at play. You know, he was still, last year when he came in the league, he was still just coming off of that hip injury.
Right.
And so, he had to have some time to recover from that. And then, just also that transition from college, it doesn't always happen as easy as
Agree.
as a Herbert makes it look. Thanks. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Herbert made it look like the transition was nothing, but
remember they chose to put him in when Fitzmagic was doing pretty well.
No,
It
I
was a
mean,
shock.
I assume they wanted to see what they had,
yeah, I feel like that was the right decision,
but
whether if
I
it's
think
liked it or not, because they weren't going to, they knew they weren't ready to compete, and that's what I'm saying. I can applaud that when teams really. I think
like
a lot of
you ain't going
teams.
far, so just let's see
So
what the kid
see
has.
what you have. You're trying to be good for years. You're not just. I mean, you're not
Well,
just trying to risk it all to win.
they
You
did well
know,
enough to lose me money last year, so that kind of sucked.
yeah. So I mean, listen, they I think the Dolphins are in a better position than they have been in a long time right now. It's gonna
Yeah,
be up to Tua
Is it a win
whether or
now
not.
I don't think
I
it's win
think
now yet.
I think they're very close to win now.
or
I think
next
they
year?
probably like a year.
I think that defense is good and getting better. I
I think
think the
this year is
head
another
coach
big thing
has
year.
done a really good job with putting everything together. But I think this year is what they're gonna use to bring all the pieces in.
Yeah,
Once they get their offense solidified in the draft, and once they know exactly who they're rolling with,
Right.
give those guys a year to click, and then
Right.
next year, let's
yeah.
win.
I
There's some
think
other big moves that caught you guys' eye. Let me go down my list of a big move.
See another one. There, I talked with Fuller. Well, and this
What?
isn't a move. This isn't a move that hasn't happened yet. So I mean, we can just spend a short time on this, but
Okay.
the Golladay has not been moved yet. I think that is one of the shoes that we're waiting to drop. And I saw something today that was I don't know if it was scary or more just like Golladay had a meeting with the Bears,
I think I saw that,
and
and possibly Cincinnati as well.
yeah, I think he did have a meeting with the Bears.
he did, yeah, Cincinnati as well. What I wanted to ask you guys is, I mean, where would you want to see Golladay go?
Pretty much They can go anywhere. Where would I want to?
Where I mean, where? So where would his fantasy value be the highest right now? Which
I don't know if
team?
it's with the Bears.
No, it's not. You don't have this. It's not with the Bears.
I
Well,
It
think
I
is
mean,
not. I
Cincinnati.
mean, think it would be that would be painful though. Allen Robinson and Kenny Golladay on the Bears with
well,
Dalton throwing them the ball.
Dalton knows how to feed his receivers.
I mean,
Think
I don't know,
about it though.
man. Dalton is
Dalton.
just.
No, I mean, I think
Has Andy Dalton
Dalton.
ever made your fantasy roster excited?
Well, I mean, as a waiver wire guy, yes. He was always my first waiver wire option because he knows how to throw that ball and he knows how to feed his receivers. And his lack of success, I don't blame it all on Andy Dalton. He played for the Bengals for years. Like, can you remember any time that the Bengals have been good?
That was his first mistake.
You see what I'm saying?
They didn't. I mean, no, they didn't do him. They didn't do him too well.
So
But I mean,
he never had
also
a shot.
Dalton. His thing is,
Maybe he's just a product of what happened last year with the Cowboys, but he didn't look too hot last year.
honestly, I compare Dalton to a Jameis Winston. Honestly, I've seen flashes from Dalton where I've seen him do some things, but I've also seen Dalton be very mistake prone and throw a lot of interceptions and just. I remember having him as waiver wire fodder in the past and just like looking at him making amazing plays and then getting the ball back and then giving it to the other team. It's just like
Jameis comp. He is a good Jameis comp.
I that is who I would compare him to right now. And so I mean he has a chance right now. With that Trubisky move, he's the guy. I think that's what that says. He's the guy there in Chicago. So it'll be interesting to see.
He's definitely a guy, unless they bring in someone else, which I don't see them doing.
Yeah.
And they don't have a high enough draft pick to.
Yeah. I just don't know what Chicago is doing. Foles and Dalton. Wow. It's an interesting combo.
I would hate to be a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the Bears are definitely, win now. I mean, I don't see them winning, but
they've been win now for like 3 years now.
Right, because I mean,
they just can't fix their quarterback issue.
Right, Mark is only getting older. And salary cap issues, XYZ. Like,
and see, their problem is they ain't great, but they ain't bad, so they never high enough to draft
to get a good draft pick. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to settle for the Foles and the Daltons.
The only answer I had for that question was I think Then talking about Watson one more time. Imagine if Galladay went to the Texans.
Not exciting at all.
What? If Deshaun played, let's give it if Deshaun Watson played.
But I mean,
that would be the best. That would be the best quarterback that he's played with. Deshaun Watson is better than Matthew Stafford.
But they had Hopkins. And they couldn't get it done with Hopkins. I mean,
what do you mean? Hopkins was a top wide receiver.
But he was. But the team wasn't.
I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about fantasy.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I'm talking about for Galladay's fantasy value right now. That's what I meant. So the best place for him to go for his fantasy value.
I mean,
he would go there, be the one immediately getting balls from Deshaun Watson. I mean,
what about the Titans? I hate to be.
If I was a Galladay holder, I would hate for him to go there right now.
Yeah, I would hate.
If you were what?
If he was
if I were a Galladay holder, I would hate for him to go there.
Yeah, I would hate.
To the Texans? Oh, well, you would hate for him because Deshaun isn't playing.
Because we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening.
And I don't think anyone's. Yeah. I don't think anyone's even flying over the Texans' airspace right now.
I mean, they got a lot of stuff.
What about the Titans? They just gave up
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis. Jonnu Smith is gone. The only number one is AJ Brown. He could use some help, and I think they have some cap space.
That would be a crazy match.
It would be bananas. Because can you imagine? Can you imagine Derrick Henry, the precise Tannehill, with a second option outside of AJ Brown?
Why you put precise Tannehill on there?
Because he's precise. Like,
yeah, I think he's separating him from Dolphins Tannehill. To Titans Tannehill, there's
okay.
There was
Tannehill evolved.
And then you'd also have this. I also looked at Tannehill doesn't sling the ball, but when he throws, he connects. You know what I mean? And that's where AJ Brown got his value from, because he would maybe have 4 to 5 passes per game, and he is a Pro Bowl top wide receiver. In fact,
as an AJ Brown owner, wouldn't you not want that to happen though?
AJ Brown is really good after the catch, though.
But I had shares in AJ Brown while Corey Davis was still getting fed as well, and I was fine. You see,
I think Kenny Galladay might demand a few more targets than Corey Davis.
Even if it's split, AJ Brown, like I said, AJ Brown needs maybe 4 passes to have a great day, as we've seen.
That's true.
As we've seen.
I mean, AJ Brown.
And you also got to remember. Tennessee ain't really the high-flying offense.
Not at all.
So they only throw about 20 times a game.
You're right.
And is there enough to go around for AJ Brown and Galladay to have a good game?
But yeah, I'm looking at.
You don't know if he could be good this game or not.
I'm looking at wins for the Titans, as well as look at the salary. AJ Brown is in his second year. This is going to be his 3rd year, so he's still under a rookie contract. They do have space. They do have space to add a big piece. They already have.
But your salary in fantasy, boy, that don't help my fantasy team.
I'm saying it's possible, and it's likely.
It's possible for him to go there, but I wouldn't want him to go there for fantasy value.
Where would you like to see him go?
I don't own him, so I don't really care where he goes.
Well, you could own him.
We're not talking about what you own, Glenn. The people listening don't care about what you own.
Exactly.
I would say I would prefer to see Galladay go to the Ravens. They really need a number 1 wide receiver.
And they have one. They have one. It's called Mark Andrews.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, boy.
That's what he's called, Mark Andrews.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. It's just Lamar has not proved that I mean, you're talking about just another instance with another non-high flying offense.
No.
Lamar is not one to pass the ball and not accurately.
I think Lamar can throw the ball. He just doesn't have receivers.
No, he doesn't want to.
I don't know. I think he can. I think he can get some. I think he can from time. I don't know if he's an accurate deep ball passer. I just don't. I don't know if I can say. I don't know if I.
He just needs
if he's getting Galladay, that's what Galladay does.
I don't.
But I think that would really help him. I'm being selfish because
Yeah.
I have Lamar Jackson, and the boy
See?
need a wide receiver.
Yeah, see, I know, but he has wide receivers. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to throw the ball.
Yeah, it's just
He
I mean,
doesn't.
and the thing is, they're not
He doesn't
building
have.
they're
He
not
doesn't
building the
have
offense for
any.
him to throw the ball. I don't think they want to make him into someone who wants to
He
throw the
doesn't
ball.
have any true wide receiver ones, and don't you dare say Hollywood Brown, because he is not.
But I
I
think,
mean,
he
he's
is
not, but
if he
That
has
boy
the
has been lost
opportunity.
in the clouds half the game.
No, I think.
well, I mean, the
think
ball
he's
has been lost in
something
the clouds half the game too. So
Agree.
I know true. I know true.
listen, I'm not go watch the games. His
I
deep
just watch
ball
his
is
games.
not great. His deep ball is not great. You know, he does not have high accuracy on this deep ball.
I
As
think
much as you
Hollywood-
want your player to be
He don't
great.
need him to throw it deep. He just needs some intermediate passes. And all Marquise know how to do is streak. He's just run straight for the end zone, and Lamar can get it to you there. Why are you going down there?
Yeah, I don't feel that landing spot. For
Yeah,
That's the business. You don't need to feel it.
yeah.
I feel it.
What's a great landing spot for him?
A great landing spot would be with the Patriots.
No. What?
No,
What?
you need a quarterback there.
We listen. This is not the Glenn Fantasy Football Podcast.
No,
Stop trying to help yourself.
What about the Rams with their brand spanking new Matthew Stafford quarterback?
I mean,
Zombie.
what's going on with Cooper Cup and Robert Woods are there already? What's going to happen with them?
I mean, that's true.
You know,
but he would be
we're talking
reunited.
about
He would be
once
reunited
again
with
too
Matt
many
Stafford.
mouths to
feed.
handle, too many mouths to feed.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be good for my Cooper Cup stock. So yeah,
I mean, honestly, that may be good for Galladay, considering he already have
he
that
has a
connection with
repertoire.
Matthew Stafford.
He
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
So
I
Matthew
mean, that
Stafford
would,
may favor him.
it would be at the very least interesting.
Yeah.
What other moves were made? Well,
Yeah,
Allen
let's move on.
Robinson signed his franchise tag unwillingly.
No, literally a few hours ago, I guess. I mean, I feel so bad for Allen Robinson.
I
mean,
do
that's.
too. He deserves.
I mean,
so much.
I shouldn't feel bad because he just signed a deal for $18 million. But
Right.
I mean, he just wants to win, man. But
Allen Robinson reminds me of Brandon Marshall. Great player, but forever on horrible teams.
Agree.
yeah,
You know who is a big this may be under the radar, but the Jets are making some great moves in preparation for Trevor Lawrence. A lot of their moves.
you mean for Justin Fields?
You think so?
They ain't getting Lawrence. How
Sorry,
they
sorry,
get Lawrence?
I'm sorry.
Trevor Lawrence is going
Jaguars.
to,
Going to
to the
Jaguars,
Jaguars,
sorry.
man.
For Justin Fields, sorry. For Justin
I don't think they're
Fields.
taking Justin Fields.
Justin Fields or Zach Wilson.
Or Zach
I think
Wilson.
they'll take
Zach Wilson
What?
is Zach Wilson is the guy that they're moving him. Everyone is moving him above Fields now.
I've seen that as well.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Fields dropping in the draft.
But what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say is that they have draft picks and they've already made free agent moves for their wide receivers. I think that they are going to be a very potent offense. And they lost Adam Gase this year. So
So
when
that means they're going to win a Super Bowl pretty much.
Automatically
pretty
better.
much.
Yeah, I
because
mean that's yeah.
I bet you
Let's
their water boy is even serving better water now that Adam Gase is gone. You know what I mean? Like the Gase effect is real.
He's got Evian now. He's moved from
right. He's got heavy on.
Well, this is entirely hinging on whether or not the quarterback they draft is any good.
Well, I don't think they need a great quarterback. What's the guy? Bradford.
You know, one of the things
If you don't need a great
that
quarterback, why move off of Darnold?
Darnold.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's what I was gonna go. That's where I was gonna go just now. I mean, everyone's talking about. I mean, that saying that the Jets are gonna draft a quarterback. To me, I'm just like, why hasn't something happened with Darnold yet? Because you have number 2 pick. You already know that you're not gonna get Trevor Lawrence, so you're not
Okay.
trying to like throw anyone off. So I mean, why hasn't I don't know if they have a high price on him, and if they have a high price on him, why would you have a high price on him when
Well,
you
I've
could just
heard-
get something for
I
him?
heard they're
and
just
make-
asking for a second for him.
Right. I've heard teams have been interested in him.
Yeah, I don't know why, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because why didn't the Bears go for him? You know, I would rather have Donald than Dalton.
The
You know,
developmental, yeah,
a lot of these
developmental
guys
player.
are, you know, even the Washington football team. Why wouldn't they go for Donald? Like, you know, why not take a shot on a guy that is still young and has
Agree.
high draft capital and, you know, has
He
been
was,
held down by a poor team. That's what
Right.
I'm trying to figure out. It's just it seems like that would be the smartest move, but no, I haven't even heard a whisper about Darnold.
That's true.
no, like
Sadly, I mean,
nobody
the
is
only
looking
thing
to
I've heard,
almost sign him or anything.
which may have been a strategic thing, is Seahawks coach was saying, Darnold is interesting, but they've got that Russell Wilson thing going on.
I think that thing is blowing so much out of proportion.
I don't
I
think
feel
Russell
like
isn't
the, I
going
feel like the
anywhere, right?
media. I feel like the media
think so.
is no, he's not going anywhere. I feel like the
Right.
media is just kind of taking an interesting topic and use that to kind of make it bigger than it is. There's
Yeah.
no way. There's no way
Especially with that.
that Seahawks will let Russell Wilson go anywhere.
Until they do.
Yeah,
I guess
he has
until they do, but
he has a huge
I,
contract
Nice if
as
they
well.
did though.
I think that'd be so that would not make any
Hey,
sense.
I thought huge contracts mean they wasn't going anywhere, but they moved Wentz, so
They did move Wentz.
that showed me anything is possible.
What do you guys
Yeah.
think? You think he has a chance of at least having success? I'm not saying be great, but have success.
Wentz.
Yeah, Wentz.
I think
Oh
so.
man, I think he's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks. You know, I think the
Alright,
season is
let's-
going to be
let's
the
back
season.
that up.
You know, and he's going to throw the ball to Pittman and Paris Campbell.
Oh, that's what you want.
And
That's what you want.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a great, amazing fantasy season.
Well, he
That's what I
has.
see. That's what I see happening.
He
That
has
offensive line is
a
gonna
great
keep him
offensive
protected.
line. He's got
I think
a
he'll
great,
bounce back.
a great running back, and now two running backs.
I think he has in all honesty, I think he has every opportunity to succeed. He has everything. I mean, that defense is pretty good too. You know, I think that's one of the slept upon defenses right now. But their defense is pretty good.
Right.
The offensive line is great. They have too much great running backs.
Right.
And the
I
wide
think this is-
receivers are pretty good too. So
What about
This is one of
another-
those situations where you have everything you need to succeed, and if you don't, then yeah, you really washed.
Yeah, that would suck.
I think him and Cam in the same boat.
I think he
got weapons
No, I think
now.
Cam is in a worse boat. Like, it's definitely, if Cam doesn't show up, he's definitely done. Like playing football.
Yeah,
Like even in the booth,
Yeah.
people won't want to see him. Wentz is still kind of young. He can just be a backup for years and maybe have another chance of redeeming himself.
is this Wentz got a 1-year deal as well?
no, I don't think
sure.
so.
I'm not sure.
I
I
think-
think he got his
Well,
whole
whatever the rest of
contract.
his contract was.
Right, maybe 2 years.
Oh,
3 years,
okay.
something like that.
All right. Right, because they just took that on. Okay.
Yeah.
Just took it on. There's another name that I had. Oh, another big name that hasn't landed yet. Juju. What do you think is going to happen? there?
Juju. I don't know, man. Juju.
I think I heard the Jets were talking to him.
I heard the Jets were talking to him.
I saw the Jets were talking to him as well.
I personally,
overpay.
I
As a
personally
Juju
would
owner,
want
I
to
don't know
see
if I
that
want him to
happen.
go to the Jets until we figure out what their quarterback situation is.
I would feel good about it because that means that they probably would just leave all the rookie wide receivers alone and they can go to better places. So
What trick do you have up your sleeve?
don't worry about that. Anyway, Juju.
Juju.
I don't think he's gonna stay with the Steelers.
No,
they're not. They don't want to take on his con. They
told him
don't
that
want to pay for.
They told him
him.
that from the
So,
beginning of the season, which was surprising.
It is surprising. I mean, Juju needs to go. I think it's clear that Juju needs to go someplace he can be the 2.
Yeah,
That much is clear. We've already seen him try to be the 1. Doesn't really
Yes.
work.
But it's so hard
But-
to find somewhere that is going to let you be the 2 and you want money. You know what I mean?
I think
Let's see.
Juju's gonna sit for a minute until he realizes he can't get the money he wants.
I agree. I think
And
he's
what if he goes to Philadelphia? Jalen Rager's there.
Good for
you know.
him, but I mean, it's
I
good
don't-
for him, but I'm not excited about it.
As his owner, that doesn't make me excited.
Right.
That doesn't
You
scream
you
fantasy
just said
points
you
to me.
think Jalen Hurts is going to be great, right?
I said that.
No,
I
sure.
said
I'm talking
that.
to Sherlin.
Oh,
I'm
but
talking to
Jalen Hurts-
Sherlin.
Jalen Hurts is going to be great for Jalen Hurts. Not for,
Okay, not
you
for
know.
not for his fantasy.
You know what I
options.
mean? Like I have some shares in Jalen Rager, who maybe you may have a few good weeks, but I don't see him as a consistent fantasy option as yet. I still I'm waiting to see if Hurts is gonna sling that ball. I think he relies on the run pass because it's safe. But I do want to see him, be a little bit more proficient and
Mhm.
and feed the rock. But the fantasy is going to be great because he can, with his eyes closed, he can get 100 yards.
The cheat code,
Right.
What
the
if-
running quarterback cheat code.
Right.
And this is not just me being selfish, but what do you think he would be a better fit in Baltimore than Galladay?
Juju
Juju.
Yeah,
for a
'Cause
low
he-
passing offense, yes.
he's
I
more of
honestly think so.
he's more of
Right.
an underneath type of player. He's not
Underneath in the middle of the
deep
field,
streaks.
that's where
I could see that.
that's
I
where
could see
Mark
that.
Andrews. That's
and
where
he comes
Mark
out of the
Andrews
backfield sometimes.
Mhm.
right?
I think he would be a
I
good fit in Baltimore.
I agree with that.
That's actually
I
a
agree
great
that,
spot.
that would be a great fit for him, and I think you could get some good fantasy value out of him as well. Maybe not consistent, but
He
maybe
almost
Yeah.
be able to play the game, play the matchups.
because they let Hunter what's the second wide receiver, Hurst.
Hayden Hurst.
They let Hayden Hurst go to Atlanta last year, so I can see Juju being almost a tight end, a second tight end. Because remember
My thing is, all of these guys, you know where I want them to go? Green
Yeah.
Bay. I want
You think?
Juju. I want Galladay to go to Green Bay. I want Juju to go to Green Bay. That is the
Nah.
best position for either of them to go. But Green Bay they don't. I don't
They're
know
cheap.
why
Money.
they just don't make moves.
They
They're
don't.
cheap.
Like,
They don't.
Galladay in Green Bay would be nasty.
It would be.
come on, like
That would be
Devontae on one
nasty.
side, Galladay on the next, Rogers slinging the ball, Aaron Jones and that.
But if you think about it,
Oh, oof.
Aaron Jones getting paid pretty much spells that nothing else is going to happen in Green Bay for another 10 years.
Are they strapped for cash?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of their position right now. Packers salary cap, but I feel like they have money.
I think they
let's
do
see.
because
Packers.
I don't see any other big names other than Devontae, who I don't think got any big money as of recently.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, Rogers
Oh.
recently got renewed. He's getting a big chunk of change right now.
Right, but I don't remember
Oh, Packers are $3 million over the cap.
over. Oh,
Mm.
they got on the defense. Kenny Clark. He gets some good money. He's a defensive tackle. He gets paid.
That here.
Yeah, he gets paid. I remember that. And then Zadarius Smith.
And they just played back. They just paid Bakhtiari too.
Right. But yeah,
Mhm.
Bakhtiari, highest paid offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zadarius Smith is making some waves. So I think either he's about to get paid or he got paid.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I can see why they might want to penny pinch a little bit more. But I mean, that's just the dream right there. Like just having one of them go, and it's just so sad. It's just like Rogers. I feel like Rogers. I don't know. I think he had Nelson, and when Jordy Nelson was just destroying the league.
He was.
It
He
was
was.
Nelson and Randall Cobb together. Both of them were fantasy valuable at the same time.
Right.
I think Cobb was the last wide receiver 2 that Rogers made valuable. And then when Cobb left,
That was it.
the wide receiver 2 is everyone else was just trash.
Yeah, MVS can get it together. Lazard.
MVS is.
I feel like the longer the name, the more frustrating it's going to be.
And they have so much long names. They have Equanimous, St. Brown.
St. Brown. It's like
That's
like
uh,
their draft strategy is just give me the longest name,
yeah, just give me the
Yep.
longest name
and we're going to be good.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
another place that you'd like to see one of these guys go is maybe Buffalo, maybe alongside someone on the other side of Stephen Diggs.
I don't think so.
You got Cole Beasley on the
Beasley.
underside,
You
in
got-
the slot.
You got Davis. Someone just signed to the Bills today, did they? Who?
Oh, the Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders.
They signed Emmanuel Sanders.
I think they're good.
No, they're good.
fine.
They're
It's
good.
like-
I'm just talking about dream positions right now. Like
Yeah.
they'll be awesome because Josh Allen is slinging the ball.
Yeah.
Well, you
you
get
know-
one of these places that would be great for them. They strap for cash
Yeah.
because the Bills they only had $1 million in cap space.
Right.
Wow.
That ain't enough to sign Galladay or Juju.
The thing is, most of these teams that are in win now modes are there because they're paying these guys. So
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the
Well-
problem Galladay and Juju in now, because they probably want to go to one of the better teams, but the better teams ain't got the money.
Because I was going to say, the Giants is where I think one or two of them are going to go, but it's not a
Actually,
sexy. It's not a
Giants
sexy
would probably
spot.
be good for Galladay.
Yeah, I mean, not for winning, for
the
getting paid,
Giants,
maybe.
I mean, the Giants is one of the places that everyone is kind of saying he's going to end up going.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, what is Daniel Jones? I mean, I don't even know how to feel about him. I
That
don't
boy does
necessarily feel like he's terrible yet,
No,
but
he's not good.
I don't feel like he adds value to anyone.
No,
he doesn't inspire you to say, "Oh, Giants game on, let me go watch that."
no, not at all.
Like, he's not electric. Like, to me, he feel like a backup player who they just can't find anyone else, so they sticking with him. Or we drafted him really high, so we gotta give
So
him
we
a
got to
chance.
play him, and he's
Yeah.
in. This is going to be his fourth year or third.
I think this is his third year.
I think that maybe his third year. I can see them drafting another quarterback.
They good, but I don't know if the Giants have it in them to admit they was wrong on them like that and move on. They should.
Yeah, because they moved up for him, right?
They did move up to get him, and
But I
everyone's
mean,
like,
obviously, you need to have an insurance because we've seen Saquon be injured like 2 seasons back to back. Like, if you definitely if you want to win, you need more than Saquon.
"Yep," because I mean, it's a
Yeah.
pretty heavy load on Saquon right now because they don't have no other playmakers. Evan
Right.
Ingram can't ever seem to get it together.
Right.
Shepard always injured.
Right.
What the next one name?
I could see him, tall guy.
Other receiver who was actually
Slayton,
pretty
Slayton,
good.
Darius
Slayton.
Slayton.
Like,
Darius
he was
Slayton, yeah.
pretty good,
Right.
but he always injured too. So, I mean, I don't know if Galladay is the best bet because Galladay a little injury prone himself.
Gosh. Well, no, only the last year, right?
Yeah, he
Only last year.
sorry, it's PTSD. I had him last season, and I was like, this boy can't stay healthy.
I
He
almost
great when he
made it-
play,
Right. I almost made a trade for him.
but he was off the field a lot. So hoping that was just a 1 year thing with him.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, and that's. I think I got a game for you guys to round off this episode.
Let's do it.
And we have the last week, like we've been talking about. We have the last few guys that are available.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a name, and you tell me where, and you tell me where you think he's gonna end up on staying on his team or elsewhere.
Okay. I'm going to do it quickly.
First name
Within
is Chris
3
Carson.
seconds. Going.
Going.
And Dolphins.
Dolphins. Okay. You have a guess?
I say Pats.
Is this another self
Yeah.
No,
desired
it's just
move?
because I think they won't keep. I don't think they're going to be able to keep James White, and they need
James
ground
White's on
pound.
the. Oh, you mean on the Patriots?
Yeah, he may end up going to the Bucks. He talking to the Bucks, so
Right,
he
so
may
I'm
leave.
saying.
So they need another running back.
Okay.
Although I think Damian Harris is pretty good, they may still want to bring in.
Yeah, I think Chris Carson is going to, and yeah, I say Dolphins is a pretty good bet.
Who do you think is going to replace Chris Carson? Like, I would love to have some shares
Boy.
in Seattle running back.
I think I'm hoping that they pick one of these guys up in the draft.
I hope so.
I think they may have to because I don't think anyone
Yeah.
else on the roster could take his place.
Because-
Yeah,
I
no,
mean-
they got a bunch of injury prone guys right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I feel like Dallas, like Seahawks always have injury prone guys.
Right.
I just feel like that's what they love. They love these guys that run with their
Hard.
head,
Right.
they put their
I've
head down
seen-
and just run forward. But
I've seen that they've been talking to Lombardi Lenny, but he's also injury. Well,
yeah, I
he
mean,
he had a history of being injury prone.
yeah, and
Yeah.
off the field issues as well.
He does seem to fit their running scheme though. That
Yeah.
kind of like just run forward like brute force.
And he can catch the ball out of the backfield as well.
He has improved in that area.
Right.
What about
Right.
T.Y. Hilton?
The couch.
I just gonna say retirement. Just retirement.
We got space on our couch, TY.
He's my boy, but I don't know
Come
if
on and watch the
he would be
game.
worth it to anybody right now.
Yeah,
he's gonna land somewhere, but
He will, but he'll just be like a roster filler. I don't see him making an impact anywhere he goes.
Some mentor somewhere.
Yeah.
They've mentioned that they would still want to have him come back. So I think he's gonna end up restructuring and staying with the Colts. I don't think the market would be too good for him right now.
Right.
Let's see. What about Antonio Brown?
Anywhere. I mean,
another sad story of NFL fantasy.
I think he stays.
Think he stays?
I don't see him staying.
Brady really likes him.
I know Brady likes him. I don't think he's gonna get. It depends on what he's looking for. I mean, I think it's in his best interest to stay. I think.
Remember, they franchised tag Godwin, right? I don't think they could keep him. I don't think they could keep Brown.
Yeah, he would have to really restructure and take and take a big hit.
Maybe kick the money down the road or something.
But I mean, Antonio Brown has made a lot of money.
Right.
From even with the Raiders where he did not play, he made it. He robbed them.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, I guess the real question is has playing almost a full season with the Bucks and win the Super Bowl repaired his image enough for a team to take a chance on him?
I don't think so. I think
that's
why the team would, but not for. Yeah, I think the price is what's gonna matter.
No, but I think people know that Tom pretty much shielded him. You know, he couldn't do wrong in Tom's eyes.
I feel like Tom had him on a tight leash.
Right.
Well, he was living in Apparently, he was living in Tom's basement. So exactly. Tom was
had him on a tight leash.
Be home by 10 o'clock. All right. I don't want to hear nothing.
I don't think any team is gonna pay anything to take the risk on him. So
that's why I feel like he can stay in Tampa.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think I had Kenny Galladay, but we talked about him. The last guy, and this is I just gonna throw the name out there because he is a free agent. Sammy Watkins. He is a free agent.
He is, I
mean, I don't think he's staying with the Chiefs, but where he goes, I feel like he's gonna end up on the garbage team.
I don't know, honestly. I mean, it's been the story of Sammy Watkins, where I think some team can use him and make him a solid number 2.
I feel like he may end up on a team like the Jets or Jags.
Possibly the Jags. But I won't be having any shares in Sammy Watkins.
None.
No, I'm done. Nope. Yeah. And no one. Hopefully, no one listening to this will have any either. He's DUN.
Well, hopefully, someone in my league will take him, but I won't be.
If you have a roster spot catching dust and you just want to pick up someone randomly, maybe. But it ain't really worth it.
I'd rather take Jake Fromm.
Is he still in the league?
He is. Because remember, I actually drafted him last year, knowing that Josh Allen had to prove himself, and if he didn't, Jake Fromm might have taken over. Yeah, he's
in Buffalo. Well, is he still there now with Trubisky there?
That's a big question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. James Conner as well. He's a free agent. He's a free agent now too. But I mean, we've all seen the up and down. I just don't think he's. I don't think he can handle any kind of workload. Well, now that the Broncos did him dirty.
That's a dirty move. And at the end of
I didn't even know you could do that. How could you make someone a restricted free agent and then the middle of free agency be like, nope, okay.
At the end, whenever all the teams have been
that should be illegal. That's not fair to him.
They really do him bad. Because I mean, he was already paying him pennies.
Right.
And now you wait till. I mean, the only upside is ain't much running back's been taken yet, so he's still.
Yeah, but I'm sure he still wants to have a starting role, and pretty much.
Yeah.
All the roles have been taken, and now he has to vet himself against rookies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's gonna be a rough road. I mean, I feel like someone's gonna sign him because he's a serviceable running back,
He's a
but he
good
ain't
running
getting top
back.
dollar.
No, not at
No.
all.
No,
Not
He's
at
he's
probably
all.
not.
get like a 2-year deal, the max,
And he came in.
7 million,
He came
maybe.
in
Yeah.
as an unrestricted. I mean, he came in as a free agent,
Yeah, undrafted.
Mamas,
undrafted.
don't
Sorry.
let your babies grow up to be running backs.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. That caught
Running
me by
backs,
surprise.
man.
And think about it, for Melvin Gordon, who hasn't been great, and he just beat his DUI situation. Like you you should pay him a little bit more respect than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would
If
think
you're if
so.
you're if you're if you're a Melvin Gordon owner, are you happy about this move?
I guess you have to be because like
It's just the Broncos are another team that are just so like.
because you're pretty much stuck with him. Like you obviously paid high for him, or you had him for a long time, and you're just trying to drain the last bit of value out of Melvin Gordon at this point.
Yeah.
I
I think
really
the
hope
Broncos
that the
problem.
Broncos make
Broncos
a
have a
move.
quarterback problem
They do.
because
They do.
the Broncos have so much talent.
Yeah, they do.
Like
They,
their
I
wide
mean,
receivers
their
are
their
good.
offense is incredible. Their offense is incredible. Their
Offense,
QB
Jerry
is
Jeudy.
terrible.
Fant is a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Jerry Judy,
Jerry Jeudy.
and not to
Like that-
mention what's his name? Who was off last season? Who got
Von
injured at the
Miller?
beginning of the season?
Von Miller.
No, the other wide receiver,
Oh,
Oh, Sutton.
Sutton, Cortland Sutton.
Right.
I mean, they are loaded.
Even the
They're
guy,
loaded.
the other guy
loaded.
who stepped up, KJ
Hamler.
Hamler, he stepped up.
Yeah,
They would
I
they would
mean,
benefit greatly from Deshaun Watson.
and Deshaun has said he wants that's one of the teams that he wants to go. I think I honestly think it's something that it's gonna happen. A lot of people are tossing it up. I think Texans just need to bite the bullet. It's better to get a haul for him and just let him go. Just like
I think the Texans are hurting themselves incredibly
also.
by holding on to
Yeah, I mean, also even with Deshaun Watson, y'all have not been. I mean, y'all haven't been. Y'all are rebuilding anyway, so
Yeah.
you might as well go for broke, lose terribly next season, and get a have a chance at a great quarterback next season maybe. But
Still a long shot.
it's I mean it's still a long shot, but I mean you're not getting any closer with Deshaun
the
Watson right
Texans,
now.
they don't have to try to lose. They just do it.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they have so many holes they need to fix. So why not just get a bunch of first round picks? And
If I were the Broncos, I would give away so many of my draft picks to get Deshaun Watson.
give away 3 first rounds. You
don't have a lot of holes.
And you have a young team already, like
A young team.
Yes, and you have two of the best defensive players. You have Von Miller and Chubb still there.
Right.
On the defense on the D line.
You have a lot of you have a lot of offensive options, and all of them young.
Right. So you could give up a lot.
So many picks to get Watson. That team would be scary with Watson.
Yeah, it really would be. Well, I think we should call it there.
I think we could call it there.
I think it's been a good run. As always, it's good to talk to you, gentlemen. And we are going to be here for the foreseeable future. Look out for us on all streaming apps, whatever they are.
Yeah, guys.
And I will make an effort to learn the streaming apps so I can tell you what they are.
It's only gonna
grow from here, guys. It's a long, it's growing shorter off season. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of things on our wish list.
Oh yeah, the draft is coming up.
The draft is coming up. There's a lot of strategies, especially in Dynasty, of which we're pretty much excited about. We play Dynasty because we get to talk about football 24/7, 365. And so, if you stick around, there's a lot to learn. So just stay on board, stay in the couch.
Stay in the couch.
All right. The couch.
All right. See you next time.